building a $100 million brand in public. Hyro is 14 months old now. We should do ideally our first $1 million month, in the next few months.
And Steve Chapman and I broke down his entire playbook of how he's building a $100 million company, including his 50% month-on-month growth that his current company is on, his $60 million annual company that he built just recently and moved out of to start this new company.
We're like 52% month-on-month growth.
52% month-on-month.
Yeah, year-on-year is like 1,500.
The content, the influencers, and the branding strategies you can actually integrate into your e-commerce business.
So we wanted like true authenticity, true buy-in, and something that the creators and the ambassadors and the athletes actually invested into our company. They got some shares, they came on as owners, they get a seat at the table, they get shareholder updates, and they're very much part of this journey to the moon.
And last but not least, the reason the Australian e-commerce scene is crumbling and crippled by tall poppy syndrome and what to do about it.
A lot of people don't like putting themselves out there, don't worried about like competitors and like the scarcity mindset. I think in the US, the home of capitalism, because...
Steve, what's up?
Good to be here, man.
You're building a $100 million brand at the moment, from what it looks like.
That's the claim I'm doing in public, yeah.
How is that? How's the pressure of that?
I think I put a target on my back by saying those kind of things. I think my total quest is like build a $100 million brand in public, run a sub-3 marathon, and be a great dad and husband.
Is that it?
And
get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Stay hydrated as well.
What's kind of driven you, motivated you to set that target on your back? It's pretty bold.
For me, the mission, at least building in public, I think comes from when I was starting out as an entrepreneur. I don't think there was that many entrepreneurs that I could watch close up, particularly in Australia, that, told me what they were doing, inspired me, educated me, felt like they were on a similar journey to me. And, I will always look into the US if it was Gary Vee or Tim Ferriss or Grant Cardone. And mate, we've got so much talent in Australia locally, like unbelievable entrepreneurs. We've got some amazing success stories here. But, I think from something like tall poppy syndrome, a lot of people don't like putting themselves out there. A lot of people don't worried about like competitors and like the scarcity mindset. And, I think in the US, they're the home of capitalism because this abundance mindset, everyone's helping everyone, everyone promotes everyone gets behind everyone. And, ideally, my longer term mission personally is like kind of maybe let's shift the culture around that conversation and let's make it easier for the next generation entrepreneurs, not just to like put themselves out there, but like start businesses, create content, chase some ambitious goals, and get people on side instead of cutting them down.
Just fucking do something.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people, they sit there and they're like, I'll tell this story. Like last Christmas, my older brother, right? We sat down together. He had this product idea and he's like, I'd love to show you this product idea. And I'm like, I could probably help you to get it going. I could probably sell it on one of my businesses. He shows me it, looks at it. He's like, it's like a little rocking chair, camping chair thing. Great product idea. And I'm like, dude, this is actually great. I'm like, I could probably help you. And I kind of was like, wanting to motivate him a little bit. I'm like, look, if you don't do it, I'll do it. Just to kind of like, put a bit of salt in the wounds and be like, I'm going to do it, right? And then he messages me after the Christmas event and he's like, hey, he said, you want to do that product? It's mine. Don't do it. And I'm like, bro, like just go and fucking do it. It's like that exact thing.
Yeah.
People have these ideas they've got clenched up in their little hands and they're like worried about someone stealing it. Sign my fucking NDA.
Yeah, sign an NDA before I tell you my idea.
I'm like, bro,
it's all in execuation.
Jesus. So what's the company you're building at the moment?
Hyro, these delicious electrolytes.
They are delicious.
I'm background in the space was more in building like a healthy energy drink, Shine, which was the first kind of nootropic energy in the country. Started that when I was 24, scaled that to 7,000 stores. We did over 60 million in sales there. And I always looked at the space, both as a category perspective, not just in energy, but looked at hydration and sports drinks. And I was like, why is there these two brands, Gatorade and Powerade, dominating? They've been around for 20 years. There's 97% of the market share. That was in the fridges, and then in like the chemists is like Hydrolyte, and it was like, again, a 20-year-old brand that feels very medicinal and clinical, and it was formulated on the World Health Organization standards of rapid rehydration. And we just know a lot more about science and I guess nutrition and performance and what you not need maybe when you're dying of diarrhea. And in Sub-Saharan Africa, it's like, what do you need on a daily basis? The stats that are very publicly available is 4 out of 5 Australians are dehydrated. Like they're not drinking enough water and they're not absorbing the water through having the right minerals in their water, such as electrolytes. So it was like glaringly big problem, really fun way to kind of solve it through a new formulation, new brand, and then also the new sachet format to put in your bottles. And yeah, man, I was ready for the challenge.
Because I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, big success with Shine, grew that thing, 7,000 stores, 60 million plus, etc. Why the change? Why the shift? Why go again? You know what I mean? I'm like, that's a pretty, like, it's not enough. Let's go bigger. Let's do it again. Let's start from zero again. Like it's a lot of all the same problems all over again, but it's like more experience and stuff. But why the round 2?
Look, I think you'd probably ask a lot of serial founders like Branson and Elon, and I'd love to be compared to one of those guys one day, but I think it's in our DNA. Like I love the game of business. I love building brands. I think when you play, let's say you're playing Call of Duty, you can play it for 16 hours a day and you keep wanting to get better and you keep wanting to test out, can I do it with a sniper? Can I do it with just melee? Can I run around, and conquer this level now? And I think you just ideally just keep leveling up and you're just solving bigger problems, and ideally you've solved the small problems quicker this time, which we have. Like we're probably up to like where it took me in year 5 and year 1 at Hyro. But now we're dealing. I think this for me, the new game was like D2C. Shine was a lot more retail, and I very much wanted to build D2C.
Got it.
And then I think international as well. I think Shine we always kept in Australia, and I wanted to take this internationally. So actually today we just incorporated in the US. So
bomb.
We're trying to export our best ideas over there.
So what were some of the ideas maybe that you kind of extracted and pulled from Shine into Hyro, like earlier on, that you were like we're not making that mistake again. We're definitely using this. We're definitely implementing that system, that strategy, that brand, whatever it might be. Like were there some key ideas? Yeah,
so many. I think the thing that I got wrong at Shine, and so many first-time founders do, is like they underplay the importance of brand. They over-optimize on product, and they forget about the importance of distribution from an awareness perspective. And at Shine, I was very good at sales, not great at marketing. So we're very good at getting into stores, where we're the world's best at like marketing once we're in the shelf. Probably not like as soon as you got away from the shelf, we weren't the world's best. We started very good D2C, like scrappy, hustler. We did a lot of good stuff. I think if you're in retail in Australia, you generally need to raise a lot of money because the contract manufacturers take so much margin. So you need to fund it. If you're not going to fund it, then it's very hard to grow quickly. You have to do like the very long game, which takes 20 years. We didn't have probably the right resources available to solve it, but also I didn't think I prioritized it or knew enough how powerful it could be. With Hyro, it was like, okay, solve brand, like straight away invest. We invested $100,000 in brand and website before we launched on an idea.
Wow.
And like that's like shit advice to give first-time founders.
You would never be like, hey, go and do that straight away. It's only because you have that track record, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And like I didn't take a huge amount of money off the table at Shine. Like my shares are still on the table at Shine. So like I had to go raise money to do that.
Right.
But I was just so confident in the category and the idea that I was like, if we're going to build D2C, like everything is the website. Like that is our restaurant. That is our shop front. That is the experience that people are going to experience if this is a good or bad brand. And is this a legit or illegitimate company? So if the website's legit and the brand's feeling like world-class from day dot, you're now playing a 1 of 1 game instead of 1 of 100 in the category. So
yeah, talk to me about what you said before in terms of like how you like put that kind of brand identity in place in terms of, because you said you made it a lot more consumer-centric as opposed to professional athlete, like elite type of a focus.
Yeah, we saw a clear opportunity in this space where like every other person that was already in electrolytes, and there wasn't a huge amount when we launched, now there's 1,000 more. Everyone went for athlete, performance, elite. They're trying to be the Nike of electrolytes, and it's very crowded. Part 1, part 2, it's a very small market in Australia. Like there's not that many elite, professional, ultra cool runners and athletes. Like,
true.
And I think that's a risk sometimes founders can fall into. It's like, oh, but this would be really cool. Like cool very rarely sells for billions of dollars. Like mainstream, fun, playful brands sell for billions of dollars because everyone needs those brands and it can relate to everyone. So like whilst a lot of brands, and we let them go chase after the top 1% of the runners, and they want people winning the marathons wearing their logos, I want the mum doing her first 5K. I want the kid who's hungover, who signed up drunk to do the marathon, I want them drinking Hyro.
Me, painfully limping across the finish line.
100%. like I think that's that's the market. Like there's, as I said before, like 80% of Australians are dehydrated. 80% of the people need this product. The 1% that already know about electrolytes for run-in and sweat-in and stuff like that, they're already buying it. A lot of them will love Hyro. They come across anyway because we're fun and we don't take ourselves too seriously, and we're a great product and it tastes the best on the market. But we definitely want to have, and hence why when we got to market with like our ambassadors, we got Sarah's Day, who's she's health and fitness, but she's like a mum and she's into Pilates and she's just been pregnant and like her journey's so relatable. As much as we've got Quade Cooper and Daily Tree Evans and Ruben Garrick and Olympians and performance dietitians, we've got them as well who give us the kind of credibility within the athlete space.
How does it, like I'm thinking about it from a, I guess like niche first and then expand as you grow perspective, you know what I mean? Like it almost goes against that. You know what I mean? It's like where you're almost going like big broad market straight away, as opposed to being like, we're going to, I'm not sure, target like this specific person in this category as an example, and then scale up. Client of mine sells just to like one dog breed. And then as he's scaled, he's like increased into,
smart.
you know what I mean? So like this is kind of just going big and broad straight away. Do you think it comes with more challenges?
Yeah. And to kind of be nuanced there, I'd say the brand appeal can at some point in the future appeal to everyone, but would I go market and shop and try and get everyone at the same time? Absolutely not.
Got it.
So I'd say pick a few use cases and consumer personas. Like our internal marketing docs, we had 2 personas and that was it. It was like Hyrox Tim from Bondi and Sarah from Burleigh, Pilates Sarah from Burleigh. And like we just went deep on their personas of like what type of clothes do they wear, what type of books do they read, what type of influencers they follow, what type of, like perfume do they wear, what type of drinks do they drink. That person, and then the Tim from Bondi who's into Hyrox and run clubs and stuff like that. And then that's all we did for the first 6 to 12 months.
Go into avatars, go into personas.
Just those 2 personas, yeah.
Oh, you went just into those personas.
And then tried to market to those 2. Cool. And then as some of them came on board, you could naturally find in the market tells you, hey, there's a lot more here for hangovers, or there's a lot more here for travel, there's a lot more here for run-in, or there's a lot more here for Hyrox versus, CrossFit. Like the opportunities will present themselves, but I think as a brand entering the market, I think you're right, is pick some pretty very specific, like use cases and personas and consumers.
Yeah. What was the kind of go to market with this product or this brand in terms of like, how did you launch?
We launched with a pretty funny video.
Yeah.
We wanted to go like Liquid Death was a great brand inspiration. So we went like funny. We did a campaign video of like Dehydrators Anonymous. Where it was like a take on AA, where it was like a bunch of people who were dehydrated and they didn't know why they were dehydrated, and they like kept doing the same thing that caused them to be like drinking too much coffee or being hungover or drinking sports drinks or just drinking plain water and thinking that's enough. And it was quite a hilarious type video skit that I think put us at a level of brand from day dot of like, oh, they're not here to fuck around. Like these guys are investing in like a pretty cool piece of content that's produced really well, shot professionally, and had a bit of a take. And like, it wasn't the world's most viral video whatsoever, but I think it put us in the right positioning. And yeah, we had a few activations at some of the top run clubs at the time. We had a few of the ambassadors kind of come on, but they started coming on maybe a month or 2 into the journey, not like from day dot. And then to be honest, like this game is testing and scaling supply chain. Like the bigger you get, it's an operations problem more than just a marketing problem. So it's like, okay, does supply chain work? Does manufacturing work? Does all the integrations with shipping and fulfillment work? Does customer service work? How does help tickets work? Like going day dot into 1,000 orders like isn't probably great for the business. So I think first day was like 15 orders, and then there was a 0 order day, and like you build it up from there. But I think we're 1,500% year on year at the moment. Like,
nice.
So like now we're built a bit more to handle high velocity scale, and we should do ideally our first $1 million month, in the next few months.
Dude, that's sick. And 14 months in?
Yeah, we're 14 months in.
That's fantastic. Hey, talk to me about what you did with the affiliates, the brand ambassadors that came in. You mentioned that they kind of invested some capital, became part of the company. Talk to me about that situation.
Yeah, I think again, it's like something that in the US is a bit more tried and true. Yep. And it's for millennia, like brands have partnered with top name celebrities to leverage and pair their brand with their credibility and get their audience. And consumers are very happy with it. Like we're very happy when Beyonce is with Tiffany & Co. or whatever it is, and Tiffany's winning and Beyonce's winning. And I think that's from a cash perspective. I think the next evolution of that is from an ownership perspective, and that's working because it's more authentic. I think in this age of like everyone's posturing and everyone's paying everyone for free shit all the time and for posting multiple brands, consumers are like, what's actually real? Like, does this person actually like this product, or do they just think it's rubbish because they just got paid 50 grand for a reel? Yeah. So we wanted like true authenticity, true buy-in, and something that the creators and the ambassadors and the athletes actually invested into our company. Like we took their money, they got some shares, they came on as owners, they get a seat at the table, they get shareholder updates, and they're very much part of this journey to the moon. And then they get some options for some extra postings or deliverables or whatever in their world is kind of their kind of value that they can add. But man, that was an absolute game changer because, again, their audience is going, oh, wow, like Sarah's day. Like she's never invested in a brand before. She's told her audience she's actually invested her hard-earned money into this brand. Like clearly she loves it. Clearly she's genuinely behind it. Very different than going, hey, guys, you know, click the link here in my bio. And then she can tell the story over years, not just a one-off post as well. Yeah. And same for Quaid or Daily and things.
What would you recommend? Like most brands,
if you can pull it off, it's like 100%.
Yeah,
I think it's hard to pull it off because you need a level of credibility to get the seat at the table. These people have built their brand and Sarah over 10 years. Her brand's worth millions. To then give it up to a random upstart who has no track record building brand. They're like, well, what are they going to do with my brand? Like they're so conscious of who they pair with as well. So I think it needs to be a win-win.
Yeah.
They need to see the upside as much as anyone. But if you can pull it off, I think it's a massive, massive win.
Was it because of the previous track record in terms of like the negotiation aspect and being like, look, we know what we're doing. We're not just like my first rodeo type thing.
It definitely helped having some like a track record. I think most of business is like increasing your credibility. And like, how do you get to the place of both from a customer and an investor and a supplier and an employee perspective? Like it's going like, do I want to join, and what is the likelihood that this vehicle or this venture can help me achieve my goals? And like, it's all about them. Like everyone's in it for their own selfish reasons. An employee wants to learn skills. They want to get paid some money. They want to promote their title. They want to get more experience. Like, can this venture help me do that? So the more you can show that you're willing and able and capable to do that, the more likely that they're going to jump on the ship. So for us, it's previous track record helps. If you don't have that, for everyone watching, it's like, okay, what other things can you demonstrate that you're the type of person that will not fail? And it's like your ability to execute, your speed sometimes, your like, whilst you might not have another whole business before, you might have more traction. So maybe you might not get them in month one in business, but keep it as a strategy there after 1 year and say, hey guys, would you like me keep you updated? And I'll send you monthly updates of how we're going.
Treat them as if they are almost an investor.
A potential investor, yeah. And go, I'll get you on the newsletter. I'll send you some updates of how we're tracking in the next 12 months. And if we hit the milestones and I say what I'm going to do, I do. Will you be open to having a conversation in 12 months' time?
Love that. Yeah.
And then you come back and, dude, so many people just don't follow through with what they've said they're going to do. And that's 99% of people off the table.
And so many people give up after the first ask.
Man.
It's like, oh, would you do this partnership? That's it.
Yeah.
The one ask.
Oh, they said no. How many times did you ask? How did you ask them? What did you show them? Like,
yeah.
Mate, I heard this stat a long time ago, but guess how many touch points if someone walks into a Ferrari dealership, qualified lead, walks into a Ferrari dealership, so like they've entered the building to buy a Ferrari, how many touch points until they make the purchase, do you reckon, from the salesman?
As in the salesperson needs to kind of like contact
follow
them,
up,
engage
chase,
them, follow up.
Sell, phone calls, test drives, whatever it is. Like how many people from qualified lead walking in on the deal? I
mean, someone that walks in with a high intent, they obviously have the cash to buy. I mean, 10.
Yeah, 16. 16 touch points. And like Ferrari's one of the coolest brands in the world. These people have the money. They know they want it.
They know the price. They're qualified. You know what I mean? It's
16 touch points. So it's like if you don't have a brand and you're not talking to a qualified lead, it's probably going to take at least 16. Like, I think we completely underestimate how many times people need to see something before they make a decision.
But it's also just that fear of rejection. Like I was walking into a camera store some weeks ago, months ago with one of my friends, and he was like helping me to buy some camera gear, and we walked in and it was like just gone 5 o'clock. And so the lady's at the front, she's like, no, you can't come in anymore. And I was like, I just got to get the thing. It's right there. And just like walked right past her, and he's like turning around.
Yeah.
Already gone. And I'm like,
yeah,
bro, I'm like, that's all it took.
Just ask the question.
Someone literally just said stop and you're done. You know, it's like, how many times do people just be like, oh, sorry, you can't do that. Sorry, you can't actually have that access, whatever the fucking thing is. But it's like people stop because of some bullshit rule. And it's like business is about breaking the rules.
Well, I think it comes back to what we talked about a little bit before. Like it's this fear that we have of other people's opinion. And he's probably worried at some point that the store lady is going to feel bad, or he's going to she's not going to like him very much. So then he wants to be very polite and walk away, where I think you're more like, no, but this is what we need. It's not that much of an inconvenience for her. I think she'll be fine. And then I'm fine as well. And it's a win-win.
Yeah.
And she makes another sale. She looks good as a sales assistant. You know, like there is this macro win for everyone involved. But if you have this fear of like, oh, I might not look good here, then a lot of people walk up, and then it's just like down to bad. Like how badly do you want it? Like, do you actually want the ambassador on board? Or are you using the excuse that they said no as going, I actually probably couldn't even handle if they did come on board? Like, am I willing to build the business that scale and commit to the late nights and commit to the pressure of hundreds of thousands of customers? And what am I going to do with that type of team? And like most people maybe don't even want that. Like they probably self-sabotage in the follow-up because they actually might not even fully commit to the dream they're chasing.
Yeah. What's in terms of what you mentioned before? So you mentioned you guys are 1,500% or something this year growth. Is that what you said? 1,500?
Yeah, 1,500% month to month. We're like 52% month to month growth.
52% month on month.
Yeah, year on year is like 1,500.
If you look at like, for example, a couple of the aspects of that, if you take, for example, product market fit with the actual product being in that category and the growing emergence of that space versus like the brand and the kind of marketing mechanism kind of efforts that you're doing, which of those things do you think are kind of contributing more? Are there some specific aspects that you're like, bro, like if we didn't have this product market fit, it wouldn't be as much. If we didn't have this marketing effort, this lever wouldn't be driving as hard. Like, are there some key strengths? You know?
It's very hard to just like pull the pieces together.
Yeah.
The answer is all of it.
So enmeshed together, yeah.
I would say that this is probably more of a business stat. Like the number one reason for success or failure in business is timing. That's an undisputed time, like a time study that they did. So like, I think you have to swim with the river. Don't even bother if you're going to like launch into a kombucha company right now. It's not very smart. But that being said, if you're good enough, like every rule is out the window. Like if you're liquid death in a category like water,
so true,
and you're good enough, you can still launch a water company and dominate. So I think if you're good enough, it just the stakes are, like you have to play better. You have to be playing MVP, like top tier Hall of Fame NBA shit to compete in that league. But it's a lot easier if you swim with the river. I think you also like based on the trends that we saw, hydration was always coming, but I think we accelerated it. Like I think because of what we're doing and how much hype and noise we're making, other brands then massively lifted their game. There was some sleepers in our category. And then as soon as we launched, they're like
activated,
spending way more on ads. They're getting new agencies, they're rebranding, they're copying our copy on our website and our emails. And I think rising tide lifts all boats.
Of course.
So like the categories, and then you had a couple international players enter, and then you had 50 more startups because they go, and I'm probably, because I'm building in public, they're like, oh, this is sick. I want to do it. I'm attracting more like, flies to the flame from doing it. But then you, at the end of the day, you get more people telling people the need for electrolytes and hydration. So I'm an abundance guy.
Ultimately, like
consumer wins, more choice,
yeah,
better price. We lift up our level of brand to serve our customers more with cooler events and cooler products and cooler activations and merchandise and things. But I'm a competitive guy, so like I enjoy that. Like I'd rather play people on their best and win versus like play by myself and call myself a default winner.
Yeah. How do you feel about, I guess, like almost like you're publicly sharing everything you're doing and you're like, this is what we're up to, this is what we're working on, this is the current situation. It's like competitors can be like, well, I'm just going to like look at his strategy. I'm going to see what they're doing. I'm going to see what they're up to. Like you're essentially like giving away some of the playbook, maybe not all of it, but it's like, how do you feel about doing that? Is that just like public record? Like
it's tough. Yeah. I often think like this is a lot of free game I'm giving away.
Yeah.
I think if you're always following, you're not leading. So if someone's waiting around for me to be like, this is what I'm doing, and my YouTube's like 2 months, maybe 6 weeks behind. So like they're at least 6 weeks behind, and then they got to execute.
Yeah.
And then execution, I might be working on something for 6 weeks. Like they're then 3 months behind, and then by that point I'm working on something new. And consumers know that. Like the fact that I'm telling everyone what I'm doing, and then a brand goes and does exactly what I'm doing, they're like, dude, that, like he talked about that 2 months ago.
Connect the dots. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And then like no one likes to be seen as copying. And if I'm publicly going and calling on my moves, then they're more likely to be seen as copying. And then at the end of the day, like as I said, like how many people are actually willing to execute?
Yeah.
Big companies will very rarely do what we do because of speed and innovation and hustle and gray area kind of techniques. And then the other startups, I just don't think they're going to execute at the level we can execute at. So it's a risk. Is it a trap? We'll find out. We'll find out.
What do you think's given you the most like speed or like acceleration? Because I'm like listening to what you mentioned, like, you know, where you're going to be in like, you know, this year, next year. I'm like, that's pretty impressive growth. So it's like, is it the team? Is it like, you know, your execution, the speed of what you're doing? Like, what would you put that down to in terms of that?
Our number one value is speed wins wars. So I think that's part of the culture. Like, it's in our DNA. I think we're like speed wins wars, play to win, win or learn. So like, we're very happy to make mistakes if we learn from them and level up quickly. So the quicker we can shorten the feedback cycle between try something if it works or not, and then either great, double down, or shit, back to drawing board, try something else.
Got it.
And like those feedback cycles, I think just shorten length of time. So we're making decisions daily. And then, yeah, like I think the team we've got on board, like they're probably like on the inexperienced side in terms of like my internal team. And I think that's kind of good. Like ignorance is
more
bliss.
junior kind of like individuals. Yeah.
Just hungry, just ready to try anything. Like we had social media content creator like just run a marathon in our brand mascot suit on a fractured ankle.
It's crazy.
And it's like you could spend 150 grand to sponsor that marathon, or you can run a marathon in a mascot suit and get the same amount of visibility. We had thousands and thousands of messages and tags and people seeing it, and
so good.
Our virality on posts and the stuff like that. Cost of tickets $150, cost of the suits a couple grand, you know, and just a bit of attitude from Jules and the team. And it's like not many brands were willing to do that. And also the speed and the boldness to kind of pull it off is there as well.
How much like finding the right people to get around that mission? Because I'm like, how do you do that talent wise, bringing people into the team, the type of individuals that are willing to run a marathon or, you know, work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week for the mission and just like put it all on the table? How do you find that process in terms of talent acquisition?
My gut feel is putting stuff out online, like building in public helps massively. Like they see it and they're like, fuck, that looks cool. I want to join that mission.
They know what they're in for.
They know what they're in for. Like it's like I've put my culture deck online.
So good.
And everyone's like, I either hate that and get me out of it, or that's exactly what I'm looking for. I want to go and sign up for a mission. I want to learn some stuff. I want to have some fun doing it. They all look like they're having fun. Like Jules will all the time post on her socials being like, this is the best job I've ever had and this is a dream come true. And then her friends are seeing that and then they're sharing it and then we're getting a good reputation to work for. I'm a big people person. Like I want to see everyone win. I think it's like the same I do with our talent involved. It's like, I want to win with them. I want to win with my actual team. So I'm not too worried about like the micromanagement kind of stuff. I hire for the right people and the right attitude and then back them and trust them massively.
And set the initial conditions so it's like create the kind of environment that creates the behaviors almost.
I think culture starts at the top. Like I ran the marathon last year in the suit and I put myself out there and I did it. And then I ran in City Surf and I'll just go do, like we had at one of our shakeouts events on the weekend, we had a pizza night we overtook with Frank Jr.'s pizza up there with Fractal Run-In, and we gave everyone free pizzas and free Hyro, and like we just had such a sick vibe there that the Channel 9 News weather guy was like going to another event, saw our event because it was this big street party at the end of the day. He ended up reporting the news from our event. I saw that, I ran to the car, put the mascot suit on, pushed my way to the front. So I'm standing like on Channel 9 News, like in the mascot suit. The person's been interviewed, like I hand them a Hyro just to hold whilst being interviewed. And it's like, that's a bit like socially, like, is that okay or not?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it. Like national news coverage at our event. I'm a giant fucking sachet there. Someone's holding the product.
Love it.
And I think it's just doing that on every possible opportunity to get your brand out there. Like I will always have, like I came today with a bag of Hyro, like I always have Hyro in my pocket. Doesn't matter where I'm going. And then I'm at an event, I'm giving to every single person. And they're like, dude, are you sampling? Like, are you sampling your product at a business lunch? And I'm like, yeah, I am, because that person's from that company, that person's from that company, and to me, to explain my idea to you, like I work at Hyro, it's a hydration electrolyte. You can't really feel it, you can't see it, you're not going to remember it as much. If I give you like a physical product, then you go and try it and you're like, I love it, met the guy, he seemed cool, but like I actually know what the product is, I know what I'm talking about now.
Especially if you taste it, like you bring the bottle for me, I'm tasting it, I'm drinking it, I'm like, wow, I feel a bit better, my brain feels like it's working better, I've got some electrolytes in there.
Yeah, you're coming across
things are probably happening, dude. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's epic.
And I know for a fact, like people look down on me, like they talk shit behind my back, being like, bro, he's always selling, he's always hustling, he's always putting his stuff out there. You know, he's this kind of like sales guy. I'm like, absolutely. I think any opportunity to get your brand out there, like it's hard enough. Like don't make it harder on us.
Did you always have that attitude towards just like, I don't give a fuck? I'm doing what I want type thing? Or was there a time maybe where you weren't as like bold with just pushing and you maybe cared more about other people's opinions, etc.?
I think I'd do both. I think I care what other people think, but I'd go anyway. I think courage is in spite of fear, not without fear.
Yeah.
I think you have to have fear there to step up and get the courage to overcome it. And yeah, unfortunately, I still care what people think. It hurts sometimes.
How do you manage it? Like let's say, for example, I'm there and I'm like, oh, like I know I need to grow my socials.
Yeah.
I know I need to post content. I've got a brand I'm launching right now. I'm just scared of, and there's usually, I remember when I first started posting content years ago, and there's usually like 2 or 3 people that you, in your head, you're like, oh, he's going to care. He's going to care.
Yeah.
He's
always like,
he's going to talk to
people,
his friend and he's going to say shit about me and man, you know what I mean? There's like that little dialogue that you have.
Yeah.
So how did you, or like, what would you kind of advise around that from your perspective, your experience with it?
I think if the goal you're going for is more important than the feelings of fear, you'll go for it. I think if you really care, like if I'm trying to set up my family, I've got like a little boy now and like I'm a new dad, and like that for me just feels like, of course I'm gonna put myself out there for my son. Like I'm trying to build a life for him. Like I'm trying to provide for my wife. Like I've raised money. Like I've got investors' money in my pocket. Like I need to do fucking everything for them. Like they've trusted me with their dollars. I've got influencers and ambassadors trust me with their reputation. I've got team who need me to deliver so then they can get paid their monthly rent. So then they can get food on the table and pay their rent. Like that's not something to fuck with. Like if I'm scared to put myself out online, but increases the chance I can serve all those people that I care about and that have like trusted in me. It's my responsibility to show up and put myself in uncomfortable positions. And if I'm asking my team and asking other people to do it, I would be willing to lead from the front. Like I'd never ask anyone to do something I wouldn't be willing to do. So if I'm like, hey, customers, please share content of like how much you love Hyro, but I'm not willing to share how much I love Hyro talking direct to camera. If I'm asking my team to be in content and documenting and sharing all this stuff, but I'm not willing, like it's double standard. And I think leaders set the culture at the top.
So moral authority is like, watch what I do, not what I say. Yeah.
And that's what people do. Like we have these mirror neurons, like mimetic theory is we'll always just be watching everyone else around us and we're trying to fit in. And if I set the culture and like, that's what we do and that's just normal. So, and as I said at the start, like I'd love to make it more normal in Australia to have a fucking go and have a crack at it and rip in and not be judged for it and be like, actually, that is how to build business. Like get behind it. That guy's trying his best. Like it might not be how you want to build it, but at least pat him on the back and send him on his way.
What do you think needs to happen? Like, what do you think needs to happen to make that more openly available in terms of like, at the moment, it's like
it's toxic, man.
You're like a witch man crucified if you're doing some weird stuff. You start posting content, doing anything. It's like, oh, did you see him?
Yeah, man. I've got a couple of mates of mine. I'm not sure if you've seen them online, like Frank and Jack Greff.
Yeah.
They've invested in Hyro. They're good guys.
Yeah.
Like they're going hard on content.
Oh yeah.
And like on Insta, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And like the amount of people have messaged me positively and negatively about them, like it fucking fires me up. Because I'm like, bro, like they're successful, proven entrepreneurs. Like if you're an entrepreneur, like there's probably some smart stuff in there to learn from, or someone who doesn't know what they're doing can learn from those guys. It might not be something that you're not saying, oh, I need to go and do it to their level.
Yeah.
But like, let them play their game. Like pat them on the back, wish them well. If you don't like it, unfollow. Like you don't need to follow it. They're not like paying to be in your feed.
Yeah.
But like they're kind of poking the bear and I fucking love it. So like, I think it needs more people who are willing to put themselves out there. I'm happy to have a crack at it. I think those guys are having a crack at it. There's a couple others in Australia, not many, man. I can count on a single hand of like founders that are trying to build in public right now, trying to put themselves out there.
It's challenging because it's like it's, like I had an experience that I shared, and I haven't shared this, I don't think, with many people. Your conversations like inspire me to share some more real shit.
Good man.
I had this situation probably maybe 3 years ago, and it was like really, really, really insanely tough financially. And when I was in it, I was like, you should share this. You know what I mean? I'm like, you should share this right now. And I was like, I was so like broken and so like, you know, just in the thick of it that I was like, I can't imagine it. You know what I mean? I can't imagine like letting people know what I'm going through. You know what I mean? Is that all the shame, all the guilt, all the things you're going through. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, like documenting this and like talking through it. I'm like, the amount of like support, love, trust that vulnerability is going to bring versus sitting there like, put on a brave face, son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then in the hindsight situation, you're like, yeah, geez. and you start sharing it and people are like, man, I wish you told me. Man, I wish you said something about that.
100%.
I would have helped. You know what I mean? And it's like, but you're going through it and you're just like, you know, pretending that everything's fine.
You want to be pretending you're strong, not vulnerable.
Exactly.
Man, I think like who's like one of the baddest superheroes of them all? Like Superman, Batman.
Iron Man's my favorite.
Iron Man.
That dude is just
but dude, he's flawed as fuck. Like using probably well-known example like Superman, like the fact that he is Clark Kent and he loves a girl and he has a kryptonite and he's like just trying to save people but also fucks up sometimes. Like that's why we want him to win. If he was just perfect all the time, no one's watching the movie. But like the fact that he has these like almost human-esque flaws, then we see ourselves in him and then we see his aspirational version of someone we could become. And I think only because we see people's flaws can we see their true strengths. People get sick of just seeing the perfect version of this all the time.
And the thing is as well, like if you don't give them something that is a flaw, they'll find something themselves that they'll decide is a flaw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you might as well be like self-deprecation. Yeah, look, I'm really bad at this.
Yeah.
Otherwise they'll be like, too good to be true. That's going to be an issue.
100%.
You know? Yeah.
There's a famous story, I think it was from Socrates. Someone comes up to Socrates, he goes, oh, do you hear Lucilius talking shit about you? He said you had you smelled. And Socrates like, oh, that's so nice of him. He didn't mention my other flaws as well. And it's just like, we're all flawed, we're all human. Like, let them say their one thing and like be grateful that they didn't highlight all your other flaws at the same time. And it's like this kind of, you flip it on your head. You can do the Eminem version of this as well, which is like own all your flaws up front. Then no one else can kind of have a go at you.
Takes all the power away from it. Yeah. Yeah, very, very cool. What about like, I'm just curious to your perspective on, say, for example, someone who like, they want to do more of what you're doing in terms of like documenting their journey and they're sitting there, maybe they're inspired by some of the things you're saying. They're like, man, I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to start sharing things. Like just maybe a bit of insight into how you're doing it at the moment. What's the process? Like how much are you sharing? Like what's the kind of like flow that you're following in terms of sharing content? I think that'd be really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I just literally, I've got a camera here, bought it from the store.
Exhibit A.
What is this? People ask me. It's a Sony ZV-E10 II.
Got it.
It was just like the simplest, easiest thing I can just press record on. And then, mate, just try and record as much as I can. Like have a desk set up. I've got a little thing that I attach it to when I'm working there. If there's a meeting that I think would be important, just press record, see what happens. If there's something that I'm like midway through, I'm like, oh, this would be great. Just press record, then do a little point to camera afterwards with the context. I'm still getting better at it every week. I've got people in my team that I'm like trying to remind me to press record on it. I've just got an editor that I like upload all the footage to Dropbox. They run through it, edit it, send back. If anything's like too vulnerable, then maybe try like screen blur some stuff or take it out. But apart from that, it's pretty much like a one edit and then just press publish. I think for me, I'm like here for reps more than like the perfect episode every time.
True. Volume.
Like the chance that we are like the world's best of this today, 4 months in is unlikely. Like I'd rather get reps in to know what's the better story. Like I think going in it with some sort of story arc is kind of nice to go, what's happening this week? What's a key moment? What are we trying to strive for? What are the potential blockers to that? How do you bring people on the wins and the learns throughout that week to achieve that little mini mission? And then at the end of the week, the result, the payoff, and then some lessons for next week, and then a bit of a cliffhanger to kind of
lead into the following. So good. What's the focus for you at the moment? Like in Hyro, like where is your attention on? Because you're like growing quickly, you know what I mean? You got a lot of things happening, a lot of balls in the air, people, partners, investors, all these things. So like, where's your focus in terms of like growth, and how do you kind of like allocate attention?
Yeah, mate, it's a good question. I'm often like trying to say no and trying to take stuff off my plate because I say yes to a lot of things. Right now, the US is massively important for us. As I said, just incorporated in the US this morning. Got a container getting packed at the moment to send over there. Like that is the future. We had a brand that started pretty much the same time as us, maybe a month or two before. And I would say like for like worst brand, worst product from what I've heard. And like from a flavor perspective, and website worse. And I would say like just in the US, but like they're on track to do 150 mil at the moment. And they're like been in it for 16, 18 months.
Wow.
Hydration electrolytes.
Damn.
And I'm like, I know if we were in that market, then that could have been us, if not more.
So how come you worked Australia first, just close to home?
So I'm here, I had a kid. So like I didn't want to just disrupt my family and take him to the US straight away. And then we had investors here. I had it's fucking safety net a little bit.
True.
And also like the US market is hyper competitive.
Yeah.
So you have to be ultra confident. And I knew I could raise money here more than I could probably raise money just there straight away.
Right.
So it was like, get it here, had manufacturing sorted, had everything sorted here, get some traction here. Also, Australia's not like, everyone says it's a small market. It is a small market. It's still like worthwhile doing if you live here. Like the lifestyle here is so good.
Correct.
You know, there's no better place in the world to live than Australia. So it's like, I'd rather have a business here than not. But I think the majority of the business is going to be the US. And then international. I think, you know, there's a bunch of other markets in the world that are super interesting. So yeah, US is number one. We've got a massive launch with Sarah's Day, our new big ambassador. She's not new, but we've got a new flavor with her. So we're doing like this hero piece of content. This is sick video. We're doing a 2-day shoot next week with like Daly and Quaid are coming into it and Sarah's coming into it. And she's like the main talent. And that will be like our biggest piece of content and campaign. And all the things around that launch from like teasers and landing pages and email drops and wait lists and special gifts and subscription and ambassador content. And, you know, there's probably 10 things that we're doing around that launch, which we're just kind of nailing at the moment. They've got City of Surf, City Marathon, the two big kind of next in real life events. We've got some sick activations planned, and then gearing up for Black Friday and summer.
How do the live events play into what you do? Because like it seems like the pizza situation, you know, that kind of whole thing, the PR that kind of, you know, came as a result of that, the marathons, like how do you think towards that? Because like a traditional, you know, D2C as an example is like do some paid, you know, do some performance. Maybe there's like some like small little community type things, but it's not these bigger kind of promotional situations that create that, you know, culture of people that are just crazy fans. You know what I mean? So it's like getting in there in the trenches with your fans, with your customers and being like, hey, this is what's up. Here's the drink. You know, so how do you think towards that in terms of the events and things of that
it's
nature?
a good balance because I think sometimes it's a distraction. Like we probably do 2 sampling events that we're somewhat involved in each week.
Right.
And then we do probably one.
Every week you do?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, we got a cool brand. Like there's a lot of inbound all the time from someone saying, "Hey, can you get some in the goodie bag?" Or we've got a Pilates studio launch, or we've got a gym launch, or we've got a community day here, we've got a Hyro's training session here, we're doing a shakeout here, we're doing a run club here. So we got a lot of inbound. We have to say no to a lot of it these days, but where we can, we'll try and support at least with product. And then you know, there's some select ones that make sense. Either we can get it because it's location wise, or it's like a significant enough number of people or brand opportunity. Like we did a big event with Barry's where we activated with all this. We did their Hell Week official hydration partner. We activated across all their sites. We had decals up. We had hydration stations and all of it. We had free samples going. It was a sick activation. How I think about it is everything needs to be driving content. Like content is the engine, so to speak. How do you get content? Okay, there's like creators, ambassadors, what I'd say team, and then there's customers, and then there's like events, and they're like just content opportunities. And then you're gonna get more content, different types of content from each one. But I think like customers, creators, and are probably the 2 main like volumes from that perspective. But then like some of the really big value kind of, wow, do you see what Hiro did stuff is like ambassador, event, and some team stuff in-house. So then I look at them from like, they're going to drive content, which we put on socials, and then that helps organic traffic or it helps paid traffic through amplification. Or those things, if they're ambassadors with followers, events with in real life sampling opportunities, you know, they're going to drive direct traffic to the website. But they're like the 2 ways you're going to get traffic to the website. And then once it hits website, okay, what do you do there? Great, like CRO, good conversion rate optimization, get their email address as best case, or SMS. And then if not, get them onto first order. And then if not first order, get them to subscription. And if you get them on first order, how through after that fact through emails and SMS flows can you get them onto subscription? Once you get them to subscription, increase retention and lifetime value. And then like really look after our subscribers. You know, 30% of our revenue last month was subscription.
So good.
And then that's like grown massively. So
dude, that's epic, especially for a new brand. Like I always find when people ask about, shall I do subscription or shall I do, you know, one-time purchase? It's like subscription's a much harder ask. You know what I mean? Like genuinely, like
Australia's less trained in subscription.
You're more so. I just try it. Let me just try one. Like I buy supplements all the time from the US. Like what's it called? First Form and Frisella's company. And I don't know why, but I still go there every single time and buy once off a bunch of tubs.
Yeah.
And it's like subscribe and do it. And I'm like, nah. It's like just trained in just to maybe purchase every single time.
Like, don't touch my credit card. Where the US is like, charge it, don't talk to me.
Build that thing, I never want to hear from you again.
Yeah, honestly.
It's so odd. Yeah.
Again, it's just we train in new behaviors in Australia.
Yeah.
So we're trying to like, again, be another brand that leads behavior change and try and be like educate of subscription. Yes, you can cancel anytime. Yes, there's a bunch of free gifts and perks for doing it. It's not just a discount. Yes, there's always free shipping. Yes, there's all these reasons. And not, it's not just, never forget to run out of reordering. I think that's such a lazy subscription pitch.
Yeah.
It's like I'll remember it when I need it. Like, but if I'm on subscription and I get discounts, free shipping, gifts, access to exclusive drops, exclusive merch, exclusive products, and like decent product discounts over time, once you know you've got loyalty and you know you're drinking it, it's like, why wouldn't you? It needs to be such a compelling offer to change behavior.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're bullish on subscription.
What would you say to newer founders? Like you've got an interesting situation because you've got like great track record, previous experience with the company you built, and then you know taken some of that into like I guess the way that you're organizing these events, the investments into like resource allocation, right? And so like a founder that might be starting from a newer position, they're kind of like, okay, cool. That sounds exciting as hell. I got limited cash, average track record. I want to do some fucking events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, is that wise?
Do one a quarter.
Yeah.
Like no more.
Yeah.
Don't go and sample every weekend. That's a waste of time and money. Like if you've got the resources to do it. But if you're a founder, like the most important shit, if you're building D2C, like build a content engine from customers and creators, build an editing engine, so to speak, to like take that and make it for organic and make it for paid. And they're two very different things. Get that on socials, pump in to then drive traffic to website, have a couple branded AdWords going in the background, and some like really low hanging fruit keyword stuff, but like really not much focus there. Get your emails dialed in from fucking day one, like get your flow set up, get campaigns pumping once, twice a week. And then build this fucking engine and then figure out your flows from first time onto subscription. And then how do you delight the hell out of your customers that you have? We're always chasing new customers, but you got like thousands of customers there already giving you money, already buying your product. And it's like, oh, don't worry about them. We've already got them. Let's go pay another $50 for new CAC. It's like, no, like get them to repeat purchase is far more profitable.
How do you do that with Hyro? What's the kind of activation for like lifetime value, increasing that kind of delight of existing?
At the moment, you get a free gift on your third order, you get a free water bottle, you get another free bag on fifth. There's a few other things with
like incentives for continued purchase. Yeah, got it.
The longer you stay with us, the more kind of sweeter it gets.
Nice.
And then education. I think there's this like brand building piece as well. Like a lot of people, fashion is the easiest to solve this with. Like fashion is a status symbol. Like what we wear. Like I'm wearing Patagonia here. That says something about me.
Yeah.
And
care about the environment. Yeah.
I care about the environment. I'm like premium, but kind of like environmentally friendly. Correct. I'm kind of like, it's a premium-ish brand. Like it says enough that I'm like, yeah, loosely, I'm happy with what that says to the world. The next thing that says a lot about us is what we like drink and eat. But after fashion. So it's like, if I put this on my desk, if I have like the sachet, then I'm ripping it, like it says something about me. So it's like what we're building and pairing as a brand needs to also keep reinforcing what people are thinking about themselves. So if I'm the type of person that drinks electrolytes, I'm the type of person that goes to the gym every day. Or I get up and I hydrate, now I'm going to have a better day. Or if I get up and like we've got so many customers that go, I now go to the gym because I'd have my Hyro. Like that's like they're looking forward to it. It's part of their new habit that they're building.
It's like the cue that triggers them to go 100%. To the gym. It's like I've done the thing, so then I'm going to go and actually train.
Yeah, and then so for us, it's like we want to make hydration a habit. It's not just when you're sweaty and you've gone a big workout. Like I think that happens too rarely. I think most people are dehydrated because they're not drinking enough water and absorbing the water into their cells with the right electrolytes. So it's like, this is a daily problem. This isn't, and like our generations previous, they just didn't drink water. Like they drink coffee and beer.
Yeah.
And that's our culture. It's the Australian culture. You go to mining towns, there's more pubs than water bottlers. Like, so, we didn't get told until very recently, like, oh, drink some water. But then what happened was everyone bought a water bottle. Like, because we got fed up with like how much water bottle plastic single serve cost us at $6 a bottle on the servo. It's like, I probably should now at this point of pain get a fucking water bottle. And then Yeti and Stanley and Frank Green made it cool with all the different status versions of colors and sizes and shapes. So then Yeti says something about me versus, Frank Green says something about someone else. And then what are you going to put in that water bottle? Water's boring. oh, I can add some flavor and function in a nice little sachet. I like to describe it, and this is giving away a bit of free game, but like when the iPhone came around, you couldn't have had Uber before the iPhone because you need a GPS and internet in your pocket. We have this water bottle moment right now where you now can put something in your water bottle. Before, me selling sachets with no water bottles didn't work. But now that everyone fucking has a water bottle, what are you going to put in it? Like the platform has been built for something like a really nice sachet. And that's why sachets are having such a great moment at the moment. These stick packs, such a good format. It only works though if you have the vessel to carry the water. We obviously sell water bottles, and that's a big part of like trying to train behavior.
Yeah.
But most people have a water bottle at the moment. So that helped us massively from like a timing perspective.
Dude, that's such a sick analogy, the iPhone. I love that. It's like a bit of an aha moment in terms of like the water bottle, you know what I mean? Putting something in there. Because it's like, I guess first comes like the cleaner than usual tap water. Yeah. And then it comes once you've got the clean water.
Then it's cold.
Like, yeah. It's like, what's the next level?
Yeah. It's flavor and function. And like, and most people think water's tasteless and bland and boring. So then they don't look forward to drinking it. But if you look forward to ripping in a sachet and it's got some salts and magnesium and potassium, so it's going to make your cells good and you're healthier and feeling better. Plus it tastes goddamn good and it's got zero sugar. Like, why wouldn't you? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. What were things that are different, like that you might have expected would have been the same in this time round, building this company that you were like, not expecting, if that makes sense. Like, you know, things that you thought you had figured out maybe from the previous company that you're running now and you're like, well, geez, this is new.
Customer service.
How so? Oh, because you're doing D2C.
Yeah. Mate, like, Jesus. Those tickets some mornings are wild.
Wow.
Yeah. So like it took me a few months to click. The more orders we got equals more customers we got equals more tickets we're going to get. Even if it's a percentage of orders, you know, some are going to come through with where's my order update ship in? Is this
regardless of getting the email immediately afterwards?
Yeah. All the standard eCom questions.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. And like, we weren't resourced for it. It was me and my wife at midnight doing tickets. Like,
wow.
And then we end up hiring a person in the Philippines and that didn't really work out because that's not a good idea. We did AI and they were solving tickets in 0.01 second. And then like half of them were being closed without action in and like rogue answers. And then that at first like cleared a backlog and then caused an even bigger backlog.
Another problem, yeah.
And we're like, oh shit, sorry, that was AI going rogue, like back on humans. And then we're at a good place now. Like some of my team are just going to Europe for Euro summer. So like, it's going to be back on me for a little bit.
Nice.
It doesn't stop.
Back in the CS inbox.
Honestly. And look, I think it's good. I think founders should be close to their customers. Like if I'm getting on repeat, hey, is this question keeps coming up? Probably should make some content, probably update the website. Hey, I'm getting issues opening the tear because of the packaging. Okay, shit, go explore packaging, fix that, improve that. Hey, starter kits are delayed. Oh, interesting. Why is that? Upstream, solve supply chain, solve inventory planning. So, you know, we're sharing the CS load at the moment as the team, some of the team are going away, but I think it's important for founders to stay connected.
I say that all the time, and I think people want to delegate too early, give it away too early, you know what I mean? Get into the little like CEO office kind of thing and be like, oh, show me the data, show me the numbers. And it's like, get in there and speak to the people.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Have the conversations and get on the phone with them. Be like, how do you sound? How do you feel? You might send me an email, but you get on the phone with them and they're like, oh, you know what? I just got frustrated. You know what I mean? I really love your company. I love what you guys do, but this 100%. Pissed me off. Yeah, one thing we do with our leadership team is all the team will contact every single week one of our clients. Phone them. Doesn't matter if you're the finance manager, ops manager, regardless of your situation or position. It's like you're calling someone, having like a full in-depth conversation about exactly their whole entire experience and being like, what is up? Because you can look at the NPS, you can look at all 100%. The statistics and be like, looks good, everyone's happy. And so you have a conversation with someone, they're like, in fact, no, this is wrong. I just didn't submit the form. Yeah. So it's so powerful.
100%.
Yeah. What drives you? Because I'm listening to the way you communicate about what you do and like the mission you're on, and it's like it's big. You got a big problem to solve, big enemy. You know, you're trying to like prove wrong. So what is it for you that you're like, you know, doing this for?
I think I want to make my future self proud, and maybe that's my son now, and I've got a daughter on the way in December.
Congrats.
Thank you. I think I want to like help me as a kid, like I want to help the younger version of me that got bullied and, you know, didn't fit in the world a little bit, and you know, like my exact path wasn't really clear to me, and like, yeah, I feel personally connected to the mission. There's the version of this answer which is like, I know and I know everyone does, and I know about myself, like we have so much potential. We can do so much more than we think we can. We are so much more capable, and we limit ourselves. And it's so many often because we're feared of other people's criticism and judgments. And I know that because that's what I felt. That was my childhood. That was my teenage years in my early 20s and a little bit today. So I'm like, if I, from like the build in public kind of landscape, like can shift culture around providing some shield, providing some cover for the next generation to go like, actually, no, it's fine. Steve did it, and then Steve and his mates did it, and then other founders in Australia did it. And now Australia is this like economic entrepreneurship hub where we pump each other up from founders' perspective. Entrepreneurs change the world, like no question about it. Like you see it in every generation. And I think Australia is just a gold mine of untapped potential right now because people are not willing to have a go because of the fear of judgment. And like, mate, if I can play a small part in changing that culture, I'll die happy, man. And my son can be living in a better world. My daughter can be living in a better world and not feel so judged and criticized for having to go.
That's deep. I love it. Super meaningful. What would you kind of pull apart as perhaps like 2 or 3 of the key lessons maybe from the last, both of the companies, if you were to kind of like, distill them down into a few key things that maybe new founders can use as like, just do this, maybe like the most important ingredients that you might say? They can be maybe skill sets or like areas of focus.
Look, like you probably heard it 1,000 times, but like you've got this superpower in your pocket with AI. The like, I don't know how to do that is just not an excuse anymore. Like you've got the world's information at it, like not just a Google search, like you've got in-depth PhD level person giving back to you the exact playbook of how to do something. If you don't know how to fundraise, like ask ChatGPT. Like you don't know how to build a website, ask ChatGPT. If you don't know how to build a brand plan or a marketing deck or a sampling event activation plan or like whatever your fucking role is in any part of the business, if you have just a little bit of initiative to ask a certain prompt, like the answer's waiting for you. So it's like, what do you want to do with the answer? So I think leverage the like incredible super intelligence of AI, but then fucking go do the work. Like do not stop there. And now that you know the information, like wisdom is the application of knowledge. There's never been more abundant knowledge in the world, but I think there's also never been probably more lack of application of that knowledge because we're so fucking distracted. We are look at everyone's screen time, like pull up your phone right now, pull up your screen time and just like stare at the number. Is it 3 hours on Instagram? Is it 2 hours of it, like even on screen time, like of Netflix a day?
Yeah.
Probably. Like for most people, I think it's 7 to 8 hours of screen time. Like, and it's worse for younger generations. That's a full-time job. Every single day, you're wasting away watching other people's lives and reels and shit like that. Like, create more than you consume. I think do more than you watch. Like by a very big ratio, and be so consumed and obsessed and passionate about what you're working on that you just don't have time for that other stuff. Like socialize for sure. Like have friends, generally check in. But just like sitting on the sidelines observing other people's life is not it.
Love it. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate what you do. The mission you're on, it's super fucking inspiring.
Thanks, bro.
Listening to the amount of kind of purpose you have behind the conversation that we just had, I feel like it's just like it's so present. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, you're burning fucking big bright ball in front of me, and it's sick. I love it. It's very inspiring. So thanks for being here.
Thanks, bro. You keep up your work,
Thanks
man.
so much.
Legend.